It's pretty amazing when you stop and think about how one person could completely change the way we live, the way we work, even the way we connect with each other. Well, we're about to dive into the story of a man who did exactly that. This is the story of Steve Jobs. And that quote, it just nails it, doesn't it? Steve Jobs was absolutely one of those people. His journey, from college dropout to a global icon, it's just this incredible lesson in passion, in bouncing back, and in having a vision so strong you just won't let it go. So, where did this all kick off? Well, it wasn't in some high-tech billion-dollar lab. Nope. It all started in a humble family garage. This is the origin story of a revolution. And just look at how fast it all happened. He was born in '55, got totally fascinated by electronics, and teamed up with the brilliant Steve Wozniak. By 1976, they're literally building the first Apple computer in a garage. And then get this, just 8 years later, they launched the Macintosh, a machine that would completely change how we think about computers forever. This right here, this quote is everything. It's the core of his entire philosophy. See, for Jobs, the Macintosh wasn't just a box of wires and chips. He was obsessed with making technology feel natural, beautiful, human. It wasn't about the tech specs for him. It was about creating a tool that felt like it was a part of you. Of course, a story like this is never a straight line, right? The incredible, meteoric rise of Apple was about to be followed by a pretty stunning fall from grace for the guy who started it all. Can you even imagine being forced out of the company you poured your entire soul into? That's what happened in 1985. A boardroom battle, and suddenly he was out. For most people, that would have been the end of the story. But for Steve Jobs, it was just the beginning of a whole new chapter. And here's the crucial part. He never stopped creating. During his time away, he started a company called Next, and the operating system they built, well, that would later become the very soul of Apple's big revival. Oh, and he also bought a little computer graphics group you might have heard of, Pixar. That's where he really learned about the power of storytelling, a skill that would turn Apple's future product launches into massive cultural events. So all of that, his time in exile, it was all setting the stage for what is, seriously, one of the greatest comeback stories in business history. His return to Apple wasn't just him coming home. It was a full-on rescue mission. 1997. You gotta remember that year. When Jobs came back, Apple was practically on life support, months away from going bankrupt. Everybody had written them off. They were a joke. But Steve, he had a plan to bring them back from the dead. And man, what a comeback it was. First, he gives us the iMac, these colorful, fun computers that made people fall in love with desktops again. Then, bam, the iPod. 1,000 songs in your pocket. It completely upended the entire music industry. Then, in 2007, the iPhone. That just changed everything. And just when you thought he was done, he creates a whole new category with the iPad. Every single one of these wasn't just a product. It was an earthquake that shook an entire industry. It was just this explosion of creativity, an unbelievable run that cemented Apple not just as a tech company, but as maybe the dominant cultural force on the planet. And it was all driven by the vision of this one guy. So what was the secret sauce? What was behind it all? It was never just about making cool stuff. It was about a core belief system, a totally different way of seeing the world. Think Different was so much more than a marketing slogan. It was basically encoded in Apple's DNA. Jobs had this deep belief that true magic happens at the intersection of technology and the liberal arts. He just had this spooky ability to see what was coming next and build things we didn't even realize we couldn't live without until we had them. And this quote from his famous speech at Stanford, it just perfectly sums him up. It's a reminder to never get comfortable, to always be curious, and to have the guts to follow your heart, even if everyone else thinks your idea is, well, foolish. Steve Jobs passed away in 2011, but his legacy, it's literally all around us. It's in the phone in your pocket, the computer on your desk, the movies you watch with your family. His vision is still very much alive. So when you look back at his life, he played so many parts, didn't he? He was the visionary who saw the future, the founder who started it all in that garage, the leader who came back to save his own creation, the innovator who completely redefined what it means to live in the modern world, and the dreamer whose story still inspires so many of us today. So what does this all mean for you, for us? The biggest lesson from his unbelievable life isn't really about tech at all. It's about the sheer power of an idea, the courage to be different, and the absolute refusal to give up on your vision. His story really makes you ask yourself, what am I passionate enough to change?